many cases, propositions themselves may become elements of larger propositions. These larger propositions are known as compound propositions, and there are three types: conjunctive compound propositions, disjunctive compound propositions, and hypothetical compound propositions. For the purposes of the next few lessons, we will use something known as variable notation to showcase the forms of these propositions. Simply speaking, variable notation is a method by which we replace any instance where a proposition may occur with a variable. In the literature, these commonly take on the form of P, Q, and R. Take, for example, the statement, "I know that Socrates was immortal." We could use variable notation to reform this as, "I know that P," by identifying the proposition Socrates was mortal with P. Taking this a step further, we simply identify the whole proposition, "I know that P," with a variable Q, if this is useful for us. In any case, variable notation is incredibly useful for showcasing the formal qualities of more complex propositions in a fairly simplistic manner. Within this lesson, we'll deal with the first of the three, conjunctive propositions. Conjunctive propositions are formed through a process known as conjunction, in which two propositions are linked together by and. Taking two propositions P and Q, the conjunction of these propositions will take the form P and Q in variable notation. For example, take the proposition, "Frogs are amphibians, crocodiles are reptiles." Conjunction of these two propositions will take the form, "Frogs are amphibians and crocodiles are reptiles." In conjunction, and functions as it normally does in natural language, so conjunctive propositions will only be true when both of its subpropositions turn out to be true. If either of the two subpropositions turn out to be false, the conjunction as a whole will be false. Let's look at a couple of examples. From our section above, let's look at the compound proposition, "Frogs are amphibians and crocodiles are reptiles," and try to piece together its truth value. This will be true because both subpropositions themselves are true. But suppose we switch the predicates and make new sentences with the same conjunctions. For example, "Frogs are amphibians and crocodiles are amphibians," and "Frogs are reptiles and crocodiles are amphibians." Both of these conjunctive propositions turn out to be false. The first is false as its second subproposition is false. The second too is false as neither of its subpropositions are true. In conclusion, within Aristotelian logic, compound propositions are incredibly useful as often as we wish to assert more than one claim in the same proposition. In this lesson, we discussed the conjunctive proposition, which claims to assert the truth of two expressed propositions.